All right. Shalom, family. Shalom. We'll give it a few minutes to allow more people to come, but it's good to see everybody. I don't think we're going to ever be the same in this country. I have never, in all the years I've been alive, I have never seen anything like that even resembles this year.
Over 5 times in the past 6 years.
Turn that down. I have never seen anything that even resembles what we're going through. This is by this is by far the first time I've ever seen this. Yeah, it was pretty quick, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. All right. All right, good. We'll give people time to come in. I hope everybody's had a great day. Okay. All right, we got between my two channels, we have 56 people. So I'm just going to wait until we hit around 100 and then I'll get started. But y'all, you know, spring is definitely here. As I'm feeling the pollen. I'm feeling it, but that's okay. I'm staying close to my ginger tea. We didn't really have that much snow this year like we normally do, you know. The year before, it was treacherous. We went through all those polar vortexes. But this year, I think we only had 2 out of the whole winter. The rest of the winter, we didn't really get that much snow or anything. Just surprising, but I'm not complaining. But it also means that the pollen is going to be off the charts this spring. It's going to be outrageous. All right. Shalom to everyone in the chat. Shalom. Oh, acid reflux. You should try ginger tea. Ginger tea is great for acid reflux. You want something to drink? Yeah, if you got acid reflux, ginger tea is perfect because what it does, it will lower the acid that is in your stomach. So, you know, when it rises up, it won't feel anything like it does now. You know, if you drink it every single day over time, it'll really subside a lot. Okay. Okay, family. All right, we have 152 people, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, it won't take long for all of the crazy stuff to happen in this society. This is what happens. So, you know how crazy things can get and how silly people in this society get. Look, when YouTube went down, these folks called the police because YouTube was down. Now, I mean, come on, who the hell does that? You know, see, they called the police like it's their personal customer service, or the police is supposed to be there for their every beck and call. These folks are really silly. So let's get started. This is a story that came out in USA Today, ladies and gentlemen. Police departments urge residents who run out of toilet paper to stop calling 911. Can you believe it? Can you believe these idiots? And we know this is the high IQ crowd, because who else would do this? We don't do this. Okay, we don't call the police because we ran out of toilet paper. But see, these folks, they have no shame. They have been able to call the police over virtually everything. But yes, the police, they're getting flooded with phone calls from people that ran out of toilet paper. I don't know what they want to do. I don't know. Maybe they think the police department should take toilet paper out of the precinct and bring it over to their house. I don't know. Or maybe they think the cops should make a run to the damn market for them. Maybe they should go to Walmart for them and get some toilet paper and bring it back. This is by far, I thought it was dumb for them to call because YouTube was down, but I think even this tops that. Even this tops it. So this came out March 17th, 2020. An Oregon police department is dealing with an odd emergency of its own during the CV outbreak. Too many people calling 911 because they've run out of toilet paper. Woo, you got some loonies up there in Oregon. The Newport Police Department reminded local residents that there are more urgent issues than being short on toilet paper. It's pretty jacked up that you had to say that to people in the first place. It's hard to believe that we even have to post this, the department wrote on its Facebook page early Sunday morning. Do not call 911 just because you ran out of toilet paper. You will survive without our assistance. Toilet paper shortages are rampant in both big box stores such as Walmart and Costco and on Amazon, which is working around the clock to restock the necessity. The police department listed some toilet paper alternatives out of history, citing the fact that both Mayans and colonial era Americans use corn cobs. Yeah, go use a corn cob. Yes, go use a corn cob. Lord have mercy. Oh, these people are just, they have lost their damn minds. Oh, these people are simpletons. For what it's worth, the bathroom appliance that sprays water in its user's rear also gaining population. Wait a minute. There's a business that sprays water up people's ass in Oregon? For what it's worth, Bidet, the bathroom appliance that sprays water in its user's rear, are also gaining in popular. What the hell? Thank you, Thomas Israel, for the super chat. Oh, these people are. Whoa, what the? There's a business that sprays water up people's ass.
Oh my goodness! I can't.
You're some weirdos.
No, Lord, these people have lost their mind.
Weird.
Just let some water run through. That's some freaking shit.
It is.
People nasty.
In any
Ooh,
case,
nasty.
the Newport Police Department advises residents to be resourceful and patient
Oh, Lord.
during these tough times. There is a toilet paper shortage, they write. This too shall pass. Do not call 911. We cannot bring you toilet paper. People are pathetic.
Oh, no.
All these people are pathetic.
What's up with these people? What they used to do, just buy one roll. Now all of a sudden it's a toilet paper fetish.
I have no
Damn.
idea. I like I said to everybody, I thought when they
Ooh,
called
Lord.
the police, when YouTube was down, I thought that was outrageous.
Yeah, that me too. I said, oh, nothing could top that.
Now I think this one just did.
Lord, these people have lost their mind.
If I was low on toilet paper, calling the cops wouldn't even come to mind.
Man.
People are weird.
People, I could say something.
Go ahead.
Got some family members out here calling us for toilet paper. We ain't giving them no damn toilet paper. They real grown, like up in their 40s, kind of grown.
Mm-hmm.
You got some talk? No.
Well,
You didn't.
they ain't called the cops.
Well, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They
That's
ain't
true.
called cops. They ain't
Oh.
that crazy.
These folks will call the cops on anything,
They will.
and they don't want them type of calls. You listen to these songs, they don't want them damn type of calls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tell y'all something. You're gonna be getting the line and whipped out your ass, saying the N-word and stuff. You know, they're gonna get right past you.
Mm-hmm.
Them days is over with.
Mm-mm.
Better leave Ray Ray and Pookie alone.
Well, in the times that we're in, cops ain't coming out because you feel like calling the cops on your phone on somebody that's not even committing a crime. Those days are ending real fast. I don't know what y'all gonna do out here.
That shit is funny. Corn cob butt plug.
All these people are no good.
I've heard of that thing where they that you can have water squirt up in your behind. That's supposed to wipe. That ain't gonna clean your ass.
Ew.
And then you got these I heard these white girls go to these spas, and I guess spa they vajayjay. I'm like, oh Lord, oh these people nasty.
Mm-hmm. They sure are. I'm sorry. I mean, if you gotta spray water up my ass, don't I have to spread my cheeks and all that? Oh, hell no.
They still nasty.
Mm-hmm.
They just trying to think of a way not to use any effort. You know?
Lazy. Mm-hmm. Lazy. That's all. You know, everybody's restocking the toilet paper. I mean, a lot of people can find it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, they got signs posted.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I can talk to Lisa on the phone, and within an hour span, Lisa would be like, "Wait a minute, hold up, this didn't happen." I'd be like, "Wait a minute, this happened." I mean, I ain't never seen shit move like this in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when, you know, like I said, I remember when AIDS came out. People weren't acting like that. You know, they didn't shut down the world. Then, okay, we was talking about 9/11. Okay, white folks were scared for 2 weeks and they went back to being dusty and crazy. Like I said, everybody would.
Mm-hmm.
But this shit, these people, they know. I kept talking about that paradigm shift. They feel something.
Mm-hmm.
They feel something. They feel something. See, we feel one thing. And let's remember this. How they perceive things and how we perceive things are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And they scared to death. And the only thing you can think of, I gotta go wipe my ass. You know, you ain't got no fruit, no vegetables. Like you said, they getting all kind of microwave ass food.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to build up your immune system or anything. None of that. Because my son told me that he went and just bought fruits and vegetables yesterday. That was it. He had 2 big old bags, fruits and vegetables. He said it was fun to shop in that area, but he said it was crazy. They was running up and down them aisles with eyes bugged out their head and all of that kind of stuff. This is crazy. Then they all upset. They all upset because they gotta be at home. Black folks like being at home. You know, we really do. They don't know what to do with their kids. They just want to dump them off. Set up a damn schedule. Go for a walk. Plant a garden. Have them learn how to eat properly. Make smoothies and all that type of shit to do.
Sure is.
Don't slap them in front of no damn TV. Get out there and exercise.
That's what they'll do because they don't want to be bothered with them.
No, just throw them up in a school someplace.
I know it's pure hell with many of them. They know the schools are closed and they got to deal with their kids now.
They're gonna be in there knocking. Becky gonna be knocking her kids upside the head. Watch, I predict something. All these shutdowns, there's gonna be a lot of black babies popping up. I'm just saying, they're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be like, "Damn, we got to put these black folks to work. They're making too many babies."
Well, right now they are too petrified to be focusing on us like that. So
eventually, they're gonna say something.
They're gonna get back to it, but right now,
it's gonna be a population boom. I want a population boom of black folks. When you lock down, get it in, please, so they can piss them off.
Yeah. If I didn't live through some of this mess, I would not believe it.
You could not have told me what a month ago that folks was gonna act like this.
Yeah.
I can't keep up.
And it's almost like January and February are blurs now.
I'm telling you, what we have been through so far, it feels like over a year worth of drama.
It does. And just, it's almost nonstop, the stories, you know, and I'm dead serious of what I said the other day. I said the stories are coming so fast, I could practically do 10 videos a day.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't be keeping up.
Lord. Kevin Durant tested positive. Damn.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Wow.
Yeah. And Idris Elba.
Yeah.
The British actor, he got it. Now he said his wife wasn't tested, but I don't see how she wouldn't have it.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. People don't be making sense. Don't be making sense at all with that. You and your spouse are close, so naturally you're gonna have the vapors. Damn it,
Right?
Damn sense.
So. You know, it just goes to show you those celebrities, they live a very extravagant life, and it sure didn't keep them from getting it. You know, so it don't care nothing about your money or how wealthy you are.
You talking about, I thought black people can't get, no, don't act like that. You better protect your damn self. They want us to walk around acting like that. You know? Keep your immune system built up.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do for yourself.
We got that shit bad going along with them damn crazy rumors. I didn't heard some crazy shit. Gargle some bleach. Gargle some bleach.
So if you keep walking around believing that, then you're leaving yourself wide open and you're not protecting yourself.
No, they want us to do that. They might drop that in our community, you know, so they can keep us at bay. That's why I was saying what I was saying yesterday. When they getting this shit set up, they don't have us in mind. They don't have us in mind at all. They thinking about their own. No.
And I know I heard about Trump talking about getting money to every American. Let me tell you what Trump is doing. Trump is butt sore over how bad the stock market has been. Like many people in this country, he's heavily invested in that market. And he knows that if he puts something out there like that, we'll just put money in everybody's hand. He knows that stock market is going to jump up. Okay. he's not doing this because he loves the people. He's doing this because of money.
Yeah, all these get rich quick schemes and shit.
And jumpstart his economy so he can now have bragging rights during the presidential campaign. He can now go out, I got the economy boosted and I got money in everybody's hand. It's for bragging rights.
I was just listening to that white boy over on Ring of Fire. Lisa, that white boy drug him so bad, drug the people that work around him, said they incompetent. And you see what Trump is running around mealy mouth. See, he's so hung up on being braggadocious. You see how our father dealt with his ass. Now doing this impeachment. Everything is a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. I got tired of hearing that. I said that sounds.
He said the same thing when it came down to CV. He said the same thing. This whole thing was a hoax. Okay, so a worldwide hoax, a hoax that's being in over 100 countries all over the world. That's a hoax.
Yeah, and see that nonsense that Coon Clark was talking. You know, they got some kind of rhetoric that they use, you know, and they run, you know, the liberals and the Democrats and all that. Nobody, I told people this, the people that support Trump, they are extremists. And it was all cute and funny with the lies and the jokes and all that crazy shit. But when it's time, when shit gets serious and when you looking at your health, now they going to the other extreme. Y'all full of shit.
And this is not the time people want to hear all that political bullshit.
No, we
you know,
don't.
we're going through something real out here, and you sitting up there talking about George Soros. Who the fuck George Soros?
Yeah, all that crap.
Fuck him. Nobody cares about that.
And Donald Trump getting no sleep. That's good. That breaks down that immune system and all that. You know, you keep eating them fat burgers. Drinking the soda pops and all that.
Diet Cokes.
and your lady fingers. He they said he'll go crazy if them lady fingers ain't where they supposed to be. Eat all that greasy food, Trump. Don't get no sleep. I ain't been getting sleep. And I've seen I've never ever heard nobody say don't listen to the president. He don't know what the hell he talking about. And he'll get up on that podium talking about all that stuff he was talking about the other day when it comes to the economy and all that.
Yesterday he said the virus was contained.
And he graded himself a 10.
Yeah. Did you ever get a look at the traffic to that Alabama site where they're testing people?
No.
That traffic, the line leading into that place was going back miles. I said, there is no way I would sit in that. They would have to perfect this a little better.
Yeah.
I couldn't be out there like that.
No, you just it's when you see stuff like that, go home.
Yeah,
you safer in your house.
Yeah, you know, if you're really feeling the symptoms, that's one thing. Okay, get in the line. But if you're not feeling nothing and you're just, I'm just curious to see if I got, go home. Take your ass home.
Yeah, because how I look, and if there's someplace you have to go, think about what you have to do to navigate yourself through the world. And you can do it, you know? And
yeah.
I can't emphasize to y'all, put your clothes straight in the washing machine. Just strip and bathe.
That's what we did. Man, yeah, our lives are not going to be the same. There is nobody. You cannot try to live your life like you did back in February.
This gonna bring I'm telling you, so many blessings in this is bringing our folks back together.
Yeah, I love that, Rosie. That's right. Cook at home. Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Cook
safer.
At home.
That's the way to do it.
That's what we should have been doing all along anyway, and stay out of these fast food joints. These fast food joints are for people that are lazy and they are just looking for a quick way to feed their family. Bad diets. There is nothing in fast food that's good. Nothing.
Yeah, when you broke that down to me, that's the reason why they was keeping it open, because they want to make sure they can run up in there and get something real quick. You know, that's to fit their needs and everything. There is plenty to do at home.
And we got a curfew here. You know, our governor just put a curfew of 8 p.m. So everybody got to be off the streets by 8 p.m. every night until further notice. This could be indefinite.
They so far they haven't mentioned in the news about that nurse that died down in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm. No, they won't. They won't. They haven't spoken about a lot of things. That's why, lately I've been looking for people that have come online and talked about their experience and how they feel with coronavirus. I want that information because, if one of you or somebody in your family have those symptoms, then you would know, okay, well, they said they felt a fever and they felt this and they felt that. You would have some idea. This mainstream news, they ain't even interviewing any of these patients. They don't want to tell you who they are. We don't know what race they are. We don't know what the sex is of the majority of the people. We don't know if they're children. We don't know if they're adults or are they all older people. We don't know nothing. And they don't give you nothing.
So what we have to do is like we always do, because I appreciate the people that send me the emails, get the right type of education on this and stuff. Leave them damn rumors alone. Because one thing that I have learned, when there is something that I may fear, the more that I educate myself on it, my fears go away. I get an understanding about this stuff, and I don't mix your energy. That's demonic energy out there too. Don't mix your energy with that. Our Father, it's like that operatic song you had me to listen to. They told us to stay. Our Father got this. We got this. So while we looking at them, we still taking care of our immediate situation,
right,
and stuff. Right. And I would just strongly suggest maybe like 2 hours before you leave the house or something, make sure you have that big cup of tea. All right. Then after you then got yourself cleaned up, have another big cup. That's what I'm saying. And whatever else you're taking to keep your immune system built up. It's going to make us eat right.
And also make sure you do some good detox. And this is a perfect time, since everybody's not eating all that junk anymore, to do yourself a good detox.
And you know what? I got one for them too, that you know what I'm talking about. If somebody, I got a link I can send y'all if y'all want to do a detox for a week or do a detox for 2 weeks. I'll guarantee you it will clean you out.
And the colon needs to be cleaned about now from all of us.
Yeah. What we're trying to do, because I see somebody put the name up. The enemy got to go look for their own shit. That's why I'm speaking on code and stuff. That's what we're trying to do. That's why I'm speaking the way that I'm speaking, because they'll come over here and listen to us, think we are damn fool, thumbs us down and stuff, but they want to know what we taking and what we doing and all that. Look up your own shit. Stay away from us.
Yeah. So just keeping your immune up, that is really critical. That is critical about now, because remember, they said this shit is about to get worse. And I believe it. I'm still seeing too many people all conjugated together out here. I'm still seeing that.
I'm so glad I'm not around people like that. I'm at home. I'm real at home. I've been isolated from people.
Yeah. I mean, I see people out here, and to me, they're still making too much of a close contact with each other.
See, and like, well, I know, there's people, that some people, do have to go out there and work and stuff, and you have to go get your food. Or even the people that it's mandatory for them to stay home, find out what time that store open and be the first one there. You'd be surprised how many people lazy. You'd be surprised how many people don't get up that early. It'd be like 10 people in the store.
Right. And don't forget about the farmer markets in your states, especially if you don't have a garden. Go check them out, because they're not out of everything. People are flocking in Walmart and Target and places like that, but they're not heavily going out to that farmer's market. You should. Get some good fruits and vegetables, and you can cut up those vegetables and put them in Ziploc bags and freeze it yourself.
Yeah, you are right, Christopher Clipper. Amazon is hiring
Yeah, they sure
full,
are.
full time. They want full time
Mhm.
because they said online businesses is overworked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think if we all just kind of stay out of the public as much as possible. I know it's totally impossible. There are some things you have to do. People are on medication. You got to go to the pharmacy. You may have to go grocery shopping. There are things you have to do. We
You
can't
can
avoid
go
it
to
100%, but
a lot of these pharmacies, a lot of those pharmacies is drive-through, and like the pharmacy I go to, they have a delivery service.
Yeah, so does the one around here, around me. Yeah.
So, Candy, there's my card, there's my email, and I'll send you the links that you need. They shutting down the farmers markets. You have to go check that stuff out.
Yeah.
Don't go by any rumors. Go look it up yourself and stuff. Because it was a couple of people that sent me a bunch of rumors, and to be responsible content providers, usually what we'll do is we'll go check around. We're just not going to just be jumping around. Oh, this going on, that going on and stuff. And that's something that they love playing with us with, putting rumors in our communities and everything, and we be jumping around for that. That's entertainment.
Yeah, Kobe was a great example. Oh, all his daughters were with him. I remember that. So yeah, you definitely have to look into things.
Amazon is giving $2 more per hour, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they work you like a dog, from what I understand.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Because I sent out a bunch of orders like 3 days ago. Well, every day up to 3 days ago, even last night. And usually, they'll let you know it's shipped off. It's just sitting there stagnant. It ain't been shipped off yet. And the other thing, because I see what people are talking about, and I know it's going to happen because I got a notice from San Francisco, and I even emailed it to Lisa. For the next 2 months, they don't have to pay for their utilities.
Yeah,
they don't have to pay their rent or their mortgage. Governor Gavin Newsom implement that, and it's going to have to happen.
Yeah, it's going to have to happen nationwide. And I know here in my state they're not evicting people. So if you're, people behind on rent or whatever your situation is, they're not just going to kick you out into the streets at this time. They can't. They really shouldn't be doing no mess like that anyway.
See, this is the stuff, I ain't gonna mention no name. This is the stuff we got to stop tripping off of. You say you think all of this is to stop all the ADOS from the wake up. I bet they're going to blame us for making everyone else sick. See, we got to get off of that. That's where you use an unnecessary energy. They, like our folks will say, oh, you making us look bad, or we look bad. They have always made us look bad. I don't give a fuck.
They've been making you look bad for 500 damn years.
I don't
That didn't just start now.
They always blaming us for stuff. So I mean, how is that going to change our media situation?
No, and this is not the time to be thinking like this. You need to be thinking about your immediate situation now and how you can get through this thing with all the limitations that we now have out here.
Yeah. And I've always did this. In the worst situation, I always look for the blessing in it. And there's so many blessings in it. Because Lisa said something so powerful to me the other day. She said, thank goodness now the police can leave us the fuck alone. Get that energy. They had too much idle time to mess with us. There's more time with your family. We should have been together. We have become a group of separatists in this system, and we can't stand each other. You're gonna get along now. You're gonna get along now.
And I don't know why a black man or woman in this oppressive system is trying to be separate, doing your own thing. You could never do your own thing in America. You need to get out of that fantasy. None of us can do our own thing. We are heavily watched.
Yeah. So them talking about they're gonna blame us.
They make shit up.
while they blaming us and stuff like that or whatever. Somebody always blaming us. That's not going to stop the coronavirus. That's not going to stop these white folks from losing their money. That's not going to stop Moab businesses shutting down and all of that. You did it to your damn self, you arrogant bitch. That's how I feel about it. Y'all just don't know how angry I've been with the Asian community. I've really been angry with them. And you sitting up here hollering racism. You don't even know what the hell racism is.
No, sure don't. What they're telling us is not racism. Oh, you won't come in our restaurants. Well, let's break it down. Y'all don't buy from black folks. When black people have businesses, y'all don't patronize them. So if we don't patronize you anymore, oh well.
See, here comes some more stuff. I heard someone say that we were carriers. That's why we weren't getting sick for the most part. Oh Lord. Oh.
Well, I don't care what that person said. And that's, again, that's false information about us. And you should just disregard whatever that person said. Obviously, they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, the last time I looked, this whole thing started in Wuhan.
Yeah.
Every black person over here lived in Wuhan, okay?
You don't have to be sorry. You've been affected by the system, like many of us. But I'm just trying to undo negative thinking, because you got to take the time and look at the blessing in it. The blessing. We're being heard.
And look at it this way. She's right. Look at it this way. Got our people out of them damn churches, didn't it?
Sure did, didn't it? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got our people out of them old shitty ass churches.
Yeah.
They ain't hooping and hollering in front of white Jesus, are they?
Yeah, and back to you saying Chinese are locally blaming us. No. It's more of them than us. They can go patronize their own business.
Yeah, they can move their businesses to Chinatown. Chinatown is in every major city in the country. So wherever they are, they can uproot themselves and go right into Chinatown and sell to their own people.
Yeah, and they'd be good. They fine.
We're responsible for what they sell out of those businesses. That's their problem. Get that junk and move on.
Hey, Kay, how you doing?
You know, we are not responsible for keeping Asians afloat financially. That is not our job. That is not up to us.
Yeah, you're right about that, Muhammad. You definitely are right about that. The mass suicides, that shit is coming like around the corner.
That's on them. They need to take,
because they bleed money.
Instead of looking down our throat, look after your own people that are weak and can't handle the situation.
You know what? That ain't even that. Did China find out who planted? That ain't. See, we got to stop entertaining that kind of stuff. Okay, so you find out somebody who planted the bomb, basically. So how is that going to address our media situation? See, some of these things some of these things that we be thinking about is wasting your own individual time. Your thinking should be being productive and uplifting and everything, because that's not going to change anything for us. We got to get off of that. That's how they have been doing us, where they want us to look the other way. It's like with LDOS.
Worry about everybody other than ourselves. And that's another thing we got to stop doing. Yes, She Brew, I do still have plenty of soap. I have plenty left.
You know, they will say, we're demanding for our reparations. And then they'll get the throwing in your face. And Elizabeth Warren is famous for this shit. Well, what about the white people in the Appalachian Mountains? And what about that?
Those are your people. You go worry about them.
This the thought of us getting something and it's just us fucks with their psyche. That really messes with them. Just the thought of us. So they try to guilt trip you and for
a long time it did work.
Yes,
it
did.
Still, many of our people, too many actually, still have that mentality of worrying about others more than you worry about us, your own people. You know, we're still stuck in that mess. Thank you. Thank you.
And Moab is not going to do that. Moab is not going to rock this place at all. Like I said, You follow that word. You follow that word. Keep looking at it with your spiritual eyes. It's already been foretold what was going to happen to Moab.
Mhm.
And really they stabbed themselves in the back 40 years ago. That one birth shit. You know?
Right.
And stuff.
By the way, my main channel is monetized again. So you can actually do super chats on either channel now. But ladies and gentlemen, I know it's difficult. We have been put in a position where we never had to think about ourselves. We always had to worry about everybody else. Now we got a chance because so many businesses and institutions are closed. Now we got a chance to bond and really come together and put ourselves first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not everybody else. Put ourselves first. If they come whining about their problem, they got a whole community of people to go to.
Yeah, we got to learn how to be selfish and all this over sacrificing ourselves. And I've learned this working with men, and it's not a put down at all. Men are innately selfish. They are going to make sure they take care of themselves first. And that's why they tell you when you on the airplane and there's something that may pop off, they're really talking to the woman that when that mask drop, they want you to put the mask on yourself first, but you're thinking I'm going to put the mask on my baby first and stuff. Well, if you can't take care of yourself first, how are you going to be any good for your family, period?
Right. And if you die, what is that baby going to do? They can't care for themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I know it's a hard thing to do.
It's something. Nelson for the super chat. Thank you.
For women, I know it's a hard thing to do. You have to push yourself and make it. It took me a long time to get there. It really did.
Yeah.
And stuff. Mm-hmm. I used to pay attention to men. I said, wow, they make sure they take care of everything they sell. And brothers, they need to start teaching sisters that and encouraging. My husband would get on me. He'd be like, why are you doing everything for everybody? You ain't even took care of yourself yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. All that over sacrificing yourself, burning yourself out for your family, and you the nucleus of the family. No, we need the nucleus of the family. Her immune system need to be built up. We run in our households.
Yeah. We really do.
Mm-hmm.
But see, everybody, one thing you must do, and we all, as Hebrews, I realize everybody here is not a Hebrew, so I'm just talking to my Hebrew brothers and sisters, make sure you stay prayed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't know what's happening right now. We see the plagues. We don't know what else the Heavenly Father got in store, but stay prayed up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to repent. None of us are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
None of us.
Well, if they don't listen, the raw truth, that's on her, and keep it moving. Because there's plenty of us out here listening.
Yeah, and plenty of us that got people in our own families that don't listen. Believe me, I do. Yeah. My family down south, oh, honey, they were church freaks. Mm-hmm. And I know they are falling apart now that they can't get up and on a Sunday and go into that church. That is probably killing their asses.
They don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm. So believe me, I have that in my own family.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to talk them out of not going to church. So this shutdown, I know what it's doing to them.
Wow. And still, again, Happy New Year, my royal family. Yes. Let's not forget that. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
This is our new year.
Yeah.
Things are moving so fast, Lisa. It don't even seem like we even had a winter. It's like it just said, wow. I know. No. I was like, wow.
It's hard to believe we haven't even gotten through 3 full months yet of this year. We haven't even gone through 90 days yet.
I know. It's making my head spin. It's like, damn, what else might happen?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, man, you see tomorrow is the anniversary of the baby hour.
Yeah, that's a pivotal point right there you were talking about. Yeah.
400 years for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I was thinking about, Lisa? Um, um, when we were talking a few months ago about the polar cap melting, and we were talking about, wow, there's going to be ancient bacterias and diseases being released because the earth is warming up so much and everything. So you think coronavirus gonna hit? It's gonna be some other stuff.
And believe me, when the plagues come, remember the Heavenly Father don't give them a break. So when this finally do subside, it's going to be something even bigger on the horizon.
Yeah, because the way I'm looking at this coronavirus, I have a sneaky suspicion that coronavirus gonna hook up with another virus and be like a super type of virus.
Well, I know, you know what, you're kind of onto something, because I was listening to some of the information that was coming out from the Chinese doctors when it was going on real big in Wuhan, and they said as time goes on, this thing was going to keep mutating to be, until it became even more deadly. That's what they're saying. And I know more died over in China than what they're telling me. I've been hearing that from so many people. And the Chinese are just like the Americans when it comes down to the news. They hide things.
Yeah,
they don't reveal everything.
Now, it's something that I learned last night when they were announcing the lockdown pretty much, was that in the state that I live in, Santa Clara County is the epicenter where a lot of people have it and that are dying. So like we got an epicenter on the globe, which is Italy. Then okay, you come to the States, you got an epicenter within the 50 states, which is Washington State, but also there's epicenters within these each individual states.
Right.
Pay attention to that.
And thank you, Cinnamon Star 808. And those of you that want soap, because I see a couple of people are writing in the chat, go to my community tab on my main channel. You want to go to the community tab and just scroll down a little bit and you will see all the information about the soap. You can either pay by PayPal, or you can do Cash App. And then after you do that, just drop me an email, and I have the email in there as well. And just give me your name, address, and you can even tell me the amount of soap that you ordered. I'm going to actually start getting the soap out tomorrow.
Today is our New Year's Day.
Yes. And if it's more orders, then I'll just probably have to do it a second time, maybe towards the end of the week. But yeah, this is our new year.
Yeah. Because somebody had emailed me and said our new year was on the 19th. And
no.
Lisa sent me that calendar. I seen it.
No, it was on the 17th. Yeah, see, the 19th is the Gentiles spring, I believe. Theirs is theirs is on the 19th. Ours is today. Our spring always starts before the Gentiles. It's never on the same day. So it would never be the 19th, because we don't have our spring on the same day as the Gentiles. We never have. The Mayflower is the ship that the white Europeans came over to this country back in 1620. That's what I mean by the Mayflower.
Oh, I have a question to ask. Okay. They've been saying all the states except Virginia have reported that they didn't have no coronavirus there, right?
Oh, West Virginia does. They just reported their first case today.
Yeah, but I wanted to say it's something real spiritual going on with that hit me like a ton of bricks. When they brought some of us over here, even though we were over here, that's where they brought us first. They brought us to Virginia, right?
Yes, Virginia, but Virginia was
Yeah.
not the state that was not reporting coronavirus.
Mhm.
They did report it. It was West Virginia that didn't report it.
No, but I wasn't tripping off of that. What I was more so tripping off of, Lisa, was it was the last one that reported anything.
Right,
And I was
West
thinking
Virginia
to
was
my
the last one.
the West Virginia, yeah, and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, well, now is that where they brought us? They brought us to Virginia first? That's what I was asking.
Right,
'Cause
Virginia, not West Virginia.
not West Virginia. Okay.
Right,
Oh,
right.
all right.
Uh-huh.
Mhm. Mhm. Mm.
Yeah, Jamestown, that's right.
James said, there it is. Yeah, now. Yeah, you're right. There it is.
Mhm.
I couldn't remember offhand. Yeah, Plymouth Rock. That was a funny video Lisa put up.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious. It got vandalized and looked like they're not gonna be able to have their anniversary. They were supposed to have a gathering,
Yeah.
in that location where Plymouth Rock was, but with, CV, looked like the Most High shut that down, didn't he?
Mhm. Mm. The the main thing again and again is to keep your immune system up. Try to stay away from refined sugars where that's like a good host. Refined sugars um and also dairy products. It's like
Yeah,
a good host for a virus.
and plus, you never wanna drink dairy when you're congested because that makes it worse. You never want that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But, everybody, you just gonna have to navigate
Mm-hmm.
through everything the best that you can because it's almost like each day comes, we don't know what to expect, but we know we have to remain alert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like almond milk. That tastes pretty good.
Yeah, almond milk is not bad. Oh, cow's milk, that's for a calf. That never was for people. The only reason
Mhm.
why we see that on the shelf is because, these non-melanated people needed calcium.
See, that's see like
Technically, that milk is for a calf.
see that's what's gonna get them people sick. What you're talking about in there, buying that bullshit, cakes and cookies and sitting up in the house and stuff, and they're not eating to build up your immune system.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. The American diet is a really good host for any type of virus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I heard another NBA player got CV. I did hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm not surprised actually that a lot of these athletes would have it because most of them all play contact sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they can do social distancing. They could never do that and play that sport. So really the only thing they could do was cancel the season.
You know what's so deep about it is it shows you how really in contact we are with people,
Mhm.
and how you can really spread some. It makes me look at the world, look at it a little bit deeper. All right, I'm putting in my email right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like when I wake up before I would wake up and look through the stories and look through some of the emails people would send me, and then I would do my stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, when I get up now, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like a tidal wave of stories. Trust me,
Mm-hmm.
it's different now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard this. The newest thing is Trump is trying to play amnesia about how he played down the virus.
Oh Lord, Trump, come on, stop. Giving me a headache, Trump. You need to go on vacation someplace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So now what they're trying to do is pour all kinds of money into the economy to try to stimulate it. And I'm telling you, if they keep losing billions like they are every single week
Mhm.
in the stock market, it is not that stimulation is not going to make any difference. Do you know they did the same thing during the Great Depression? They tried to stimulate the economy and everything still collapsed.
They didn't learn nothing from the first round.
Uh-uh.
Mm.
Or didn't.
High
Or
IQ.
didn't.
High IQ. So I said you thought it was a pandemic for just one day. No damn pandemic lasted. He's so stupid.
Well, the fact that he says it's contained, how do you contain something and you didn't even test everybody?
He didn't even get the damn test.
No, I don't believe he did either.
You take a test Friday evening, and then the very next day you get the results.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And they say the average is about 3 days. So if the average is 3 days, how did he get it in less than 24 hours?
Don't know. I'll be
a lot of
I'll be right back.
I was listening to a lot of some of the commentary on TV, and they think he just said that to get the press off his back, because they kept asking him, did he get tested? Then all of a sudden he got tested and it's negative. So I don't believe he got a test. I think Trump is full of shit. Yeah, 72 hours. And it was not even a full day. Friday, he claimed he got the test, and before Saturday evening, all of a sudden he was negative. I don't even see how that was possible. It's possible if you're not telling the truth, plain and simple. Yeah, I remember when Bush gave out his tax cut. I think it was like $300 each for each person. Hell, if they got that kind of money, $1,000 or whatever they're proposing, if they got that, then shit, give us our reparations. That's the way I see it. You got money. If you got money to stimulate the economy, you got money for our reparations. Yeah, well, Trump's grandfather died of the Spanish flu. And he lied the other day and said he didn't know anybody that died of the flu. And they went and researched, and Trump's grandfather died of the Spanish flu. I didn't block you, Thunder. I don't know why you would be blocked. No, you're not blocked. Well, yeah, the Asians are trying to whine for reparation. They're trying to get money from the government because of their businesses falling. But in my opinion, they don't deserve any stimulation or any checks or money from the government. Businesses fall all the time in the US. But this government is so damn evil. I can see them trying to give them reparations for what they have gone through, and then totally ignore us like they have done all this time. Well, I mean, we're not responsible for helping them keep the lights on or pay their bills or anything else. I mean, they're trying to talk like we are, but we're not. We're not responsible for them. And plus, when you have foreign businesses coming into the neighborhood, they don't give back to the neighborhood. They're just there to make money. So the way I see it, we don't owe them nothing. They're lucky, in my opinion, that they even got to have a business. How many Black people would have loved to have a business within the community? Many. They got that opportunity. When we want businesses, you can have good credit in the Black community and they will still turn you down because they got their banks rigged up to do that. So they got an opportunity to get loans, start businesses, make tons of money off of the Black community. So if they gotta go, they gotta go. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, Trump did a tax cut recently for a bunch of millionaires and billionaires that don't even need the money. Talking about trickle down. What did Reagan say? Trickle down economics, and that turned out to be a big fraud. It is no such thing. That money never trickled down. Never. Yeah, I got my census paperwork in the mail too. It always said that. It said that in the past too. It's the law. Yeah. Yeah, I got all that census crap in the mail. In fact, I got two of them. I got one letter over the weekend, and then another one came yesterday. So I got two mailings. And yeah, it's the law. It said that on the past ones, though, y'all.
Yeah. That don't mean nothing to us.
We don't get nothing out of it. Some of our people did fill out those census forms. Do you see our neighborhoods improving? You know,
I ain't been. When the last time you've been counted? The last time I was counted, I was living with my mother.
Yeah, we've been 13% since the 1800s. Since 1860, we've been 13% of the population. You know, we're not having sex and having babies. No, that's not what we do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, they know they're lying when they say we're 13%. They know damn well they're lying. You know what I think it is? They need to make us believe that we're this tiny group of people. That way we don't ever rise up against them. I really think that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And then now with the census, now they got this great interest in counting us. We're this little speck of a population in the land. Then what is the big deal about counting us? We're little, remember?
Yeah. We are non-factor. Why do they need our vote?
You know, all these confusing messages. First, we're this little tiny group and we're nothing. We're just a little speck in America. But then when it comes time to vote, what do you hear? The black vote, the black vote, the black vote. Okay. All of a sudden, is that important?
Mm-hmm.
We can't win without the black vote. You know, we know.
Yeah, whatever.
They can't get rid of us. You know, they may want to get rid of us, but deep down inside, they can't get rid of us. Because if we leave, this place will crash financially.
Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna know what to do with themselves.
They'll end up turning on each other.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna eat their own. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know my uncle in Florida, he thinks we are 100 million strong in this country.
Wow.
He really does. He was like, I think we're about 100 million.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll tell us we're 60 million. And he was like, oh, we're probably more like 100 million. Of course, they're not going to tell you that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know, we need to do a lot of things, but you know, with us, we got to do baby steps because we've been so disconnected for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden victory over Bernie Sanders. Oh, so what?
Mm.
I
Yeah,
don't care
whatever.
about that. So what? Yeah.
Somebody said they ain't mentioning about not shutting down the alphabet parade.
Mm-hmm.
No, let them have that parade.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and
They're
affect it.
petrified now, so they're shutting down everything.
I know.
They are scared. They're scared of anybody go out in public.
You can't even clear your damn throat, huh?
They're running.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, well, like you said, the suicides are definitely going up. You wait until this thing spreads, like they said, you know, it's going to in the country, and so many people
That's
get.
what I'm waiting for. And it's gonna be them people, them wealthy people losing all that damn money.
Mm-hmm. My mother said that to me years ago. She said the worst thing you can do to a rich man is make him poor. That's the worst thing you can do to them.
Mm-hmm. And Trump is bleeding money. That man is so ridiculous. That dude has lost billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. What was it on 20 years ago on his tax return? I think it was like $1.7 billion. I was like, damn, who can lose that kind of money?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell are you doing?
Nothing.
You know, but I did hear him and his family are big spenders. They like to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, I was reading about his sister. She ran through her money.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's getting her little retirement. They went and hurried up and retired her. You know, his sister was a judge.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing dirt. She was a federal judge. She was on her way to jail.
Mm-hmm.
They worked some little twist, and Trump's sister had to retire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's new, you know?
Yeah, right.
I think the most disgraceful thing I heard is when his brother died, and they fought him in court. Now he got a nephew, got special needs. His brother died, and Trump want to come in and take everything.
Yeah, he didn't even want to give the kids money.
Mm-hmm. So they didn't shut Las Vegas down, huh? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. Prostitutes can't work. Damn, everybody messed up.
Mm-hmm. Like they said, your housekeeper can't work. She can't do her job online.
Okay.
She can't do her job online.
Mm-hmm.
Your cooks, they can't do their jobs online.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-mm-mm. But
yeah,
boy, we're watching America fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching our country get
That's why I was saying I would just love just for a day just to see my father, sit with my father, because I mean he would soak this all up. Oh, he would hold out the south. Because that's what he would do. That was his thing, analyzing this whole country. And he would do like Dick Gregory do. You know, like Dick Gregory would buy all the papers and be reading all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They said Dick Gregory spent a lot of money in buying papers and books and all kind of stuff. They shutting down Phoenix. That's where I was born. Them so-called $5 in it. Oh, they close those down too. The Indian casinos. Better pull out them old board games, start playing Monopoly. I bought the 50th anniversary. No, the 60th anniversary Monopoly set. We be having fun playing Monopoly. That was the good old days. I me a board game, and my cousin, she came up from Phoenix, and we got the playing. The kids were surprised we would play with them all night.
My one time, my brother and I were playing when we were kids, and he ended up getting mad and flipping the board. we played 3 times in a row, and all 3 times I got boardwalk. Got mad and flipped the damn board. He was like, I ain't playing no more.
You gonna flip the board? Sore loser.
Properties. Oh man.
Yeah. Looked like every household had Monopoly.
And
it would always be raggedy.
And we had Twister. Climbing all over each other on the mat.
All of those games are good to play. I like playing Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
Me and my mother would play it. That was fun.
Did you ever play Knucks?
I never heard of Knucks.
That's when it's a card game, and then they take the cards and then slap you on the back of the hand.
Oh yes, I remember that. Knuckles. They would call it Knuckles here.
And sometimes I would get a hold of that deck. I'd stand up and come down with the card. You gotta break the damn hand.
You gotta come way back from Alabama. We would play a lot of Tunk and Spades. I wasn't too good on playing jacks. Some of them little sisters, they would play jacks. They could swoop them all up real quick. I was not good on that one. Wow.
We had jacks. We had the little spinning tops. I remember everybody had a different color top on the street. We used to throw them tops and spin them and see who would spin the longest.
Yeah, that was the only little girl in my neighborhood. My dad bought me an electric Corvette.
Oh, okay.
Boy, we rode the hell out of that thing.
No, that was the double Dutch queen.
Double Dutch.
Some double Dutch back in the day.
I wasn't good at double Dutch.
I was good at double Dutch. That was my thing.
Remember, I was telling you I couldn't keep my ass out of them plum trees. We would, during the summer, we would look for plums. I remember one tree we raided. Oh, them plums were so good. Boy, we had a sack of plums. That was fun. Until you had to start running out them people's yard.
Yeah. I remember when we would walk home, it was this one black woman. And the funny part is, when I was a teenager, we used to go to her yard. Her plums would hang over the fence. And everybody would reach over and grab a plum. Peaches. Them peaches were huge.
Wow.
We would reach over and grab a peach, and then she would come to the door. Y'all leave them peaches.
Like that? Come on, that's torture.
And
I know they were good.
That same lady, 10 years later, we worked on the same job.
Wow.
And she remembered us. She was like, yeah, I remember y'all picking up. And we ended up becoming really good friends at that time. She was a sweet lady. And she was like, yeah, them peaches got real big there. I said, they sure did. I said, that's why, we didn't jump in her yard to take the peach. We were just taking the ones that were hanging over.
You can't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for cherry season to kick in. It's my 2 favorite fruits is cherries and pomegranates. And I have to wait patiently. Oh man. Oh, last cherry season, I said to Lisa, I said, "Oh man, it looked like no more cherries." And I happened to go down to the store, and they had put another batch. So I was able to get some a little bit after cherry season was over with. And then when pomegranate season come, that's during the winter. I ordered mines by the case from a farm not too far from me. They were all organic, and some were small, some was big. Every single one was good. Every single one. And I didn't share none of them.
Thank you.
None of them.
Thank you, Cinnamon Star, for super sticker. Thank you.
Pomegranates, I love them. But yeah, the cherry season was really off the hook because we go to the store called Berkeley Bowl. And they had every variety. They had 2 big, huge bins. I said, damn, they could lock me in this joint. And I'd probably be sick the next day, but I would eat cherries nonstop. Yeah. Sometimes we go down to Sacramento and you can get like a case of cherries. We didn't do that right off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked you, did you go to the Uptown Theater, Lisa? Brenda asked you that.
That's been a long time. Going way back.
Wow. The theaters we had in Oakland was called Rocks, in the Roxy, in the Lux. The Lux Theater, you could get 3 movies for $1.50. So if they gave us each $5, we could get the movies, 50-cent slice of pizza, 25-cent cup of Coke, and still have change over. It was only a nickel on the bus. So you get 3 movies, you get 2, you would get two karate flicks and 1 black exploitation movie. But if you go over,
we used to have a little place over in Philly called Jerry's Corners back when I was growing up. Jerry's Corners, and that was the hangout, and they had a drive-in movie there. We used to, oh my goodness, we used to laugh our asses off because from the highway, I think it was Friday nights. If you went past there on a Friday night, they had porn up there. You could literally sit on the road and see the damn porn. And we'd be like all in the window, like, what the and we would be waiting at the traffic light and you're looking at a porn scene on this big screen.
Oh, I never heard of porn at a drive-in theater.
They had porn at a drive-in theater back then. They did. And you could see the whole thing if you were sitting at the traffic light. And we were there going like, that woman got big titties. Oh my goodness, look at what they doing. She did what?
Yep, sure did. Wow.
Man, oh man.
Oh, some people in there know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was over in Philly.
You remember when you go to the drive-in, they even had a little heater you could put in there and keep your car warm.
Y'all remember, if you out of Philly, y'all remember Romper Room? Some of y'all might remember Romper Room. It was a little kid show that was on locally.
Yeah, I used to watch Romper Room.
I was on Romper Room, Queen.
Get out of here. I grew up on Sesame Street.
Romper Room. When I got off from school one day and they had asked, kids, if you want to come up and be on Romper Room. I didn't even know my mom was going to do this. When I got home, I put down, she was like, put all your stuff down. We going somewhere. So we went over there and I got picked. So I was on Romper Room. I was on an episode of Romper Room.
I grew up watching my first husband on the electric company.
Yeah.
I watch him all the time. He said the way they did it, because he used to live in Chicago before they went back to Mississippi, they would get children that were small, but they were much older and they could speak. They could speak very well. That's how they would pick them. I used to watch Mr. Rogers and all of that. I used to, but you know what my favorite was? My favorite thing was to come home from school, get me a bowl of Tricks, and I love watching The Little Rascals. I like watching the black and white Popeye the Sailors and Fred Flintstone.
I don't even know what episode it is to put it up. I really don't. You know, I was so little at the time when I was on Romper Room. I was in kindergarten.
Wow.
I was in kindergarten, and I remember they had gave the address if you wanted your child to be on Romper Room, and my mom knew where it was, and she was like, "Oh well, let me just take you up there and see if they'll take you," and they did.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on at least one episode of Romper Room.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember Phyllis the Cat. And what was that? The Jetsons. I used to like to watch the Jetsons too.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite was them.
Oh my God, what year? I believe it was 68. I think it was like somewhere around there. Because I was in kindergarten. 69, around 69, 68, 69 school year, I was in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And that was around the time I was on Romper Room.
Wow.
So that was the only time I made my TV debut. I was never on TV again. That was it.
At least I done been on TV so many times. I'm done with TV.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was... And a couple of other kids in my class was on Romper Room too. I wasn't the only one. It was another girl in my class. I believe she was on there too.
Mm-hmm. Zoom. Oh yeah, I remember Zoom. And I used to watch them Jackson 5 cartoons Saturday morning.
I love Jackson 5. Man, when the Jackson 5 cartoon was on, it used to come on after school. I used to run home. I wanted to watch that cartoon.
I used to do the same
thing. It came on Saturdays. It came on when it was new. It came on every single Saturday. Then when it went into syndication, it came on after school.
Yeah,
and I used to run home. It wasn't so much that I love the cartoon, but I love listening to all the old songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I used to always hear all their old records from, they used to play it on the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember that. And I remember on Saturdays,
Fat Albert. Yep, I remember Fat Albert.
I was drunk on that one.
Hey, it's Fat Albert.
Saturday mornings we would get Soul Train. We would be up early for Soul Train.
Oh, honey, we used to be up dancing.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be up and dancing off of Soul Train.
Yep.
And then did you ever have them family reunions where y'all did the Soul Train line?
Yes, Lord, yes.
We did the Soul Train line at my wedding.
Okay.
When we got married, we got up in the reception and we started it out. My husband and I, we started out. We had the Soul Train line. You should have seen the crazy mess people were doing.
Somebody said they like Popeye the Sailor.
Mm-hmm.
I like that dude that would eat all them hamburgers.
Yeah, Popeye the Sailor was funny, but Olive Oyl, that was an ugly bitch. I don't know why anybody was fighting over her.
Remember they came out with that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I watched that movie, that Popeye the Sailor movie. I grew up watching Morgan Freeman. That was a trip to me when he started acting.
Bill Cosby were the ones that produce the electric company. A lot of people don't know that. If it wasn't for those two, the electric company would never have been on.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket.
Mm-mm-mm.
Rickety Rocket, huh? What's happening? I remember What's Happening.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And I remember when the woman that played the mom, I remember when she died, because then they start doing the show minus the mother.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't replace her. I wasn't deeply into Pee-wee Playhouse. I was a lot older when that came out. So I was not really heavily into that. But Lawrence Fishburne was on there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thunder Thunder said, Queen, did Miss Lisa know about your vapor videos? I think she watched them.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
You know, I come up with some craziness.
Yeah.
I was telling some folks on early this morning on damn, you was born in 85? I graduated from high school in 85. Wow.
Family Ties and Growing Pains. Now, see, back then I was watching Cosby.
They had
That was on the same time the Cosby Show was on.
They had a local show up here in the Bay Area, but it was through PBS called Up and Coming. And one of the sisters, what was that group?
Oh my God, Schoolhouse Rock, Regina Palmer. I remember that. When I was in the 5th grade, my teacher bought the album and she used to play it in class when we were learning, multiplication. And she would just play, the different songs on there when we were learning to multiply. And that's what I really remember the most about that. Just that one particular teacher used to play it all throughout the school year.
What is this here? Mod Squad. Remember Mod Squad? There's a lot of, I watch some of those things even now online. Sometimes it just be so crazy what be going on in the world. And I'll just go watch some of them shows when I was a child. I enjoy them. I'll binge watch them. Sometimes you just have to get away from this stuff. It'll drive you to drink.
Yeah, I remember That's My Mama. I remember that show too. That's when they were putting a lot of black sitcoms on. They don't do that so much anymore.
There was some of them were really good.
They were. They were. But That's My Mama.
And I remember I used to see them. I used to live on a street in San Francisco called Scott Street, and that's where they would film The Streets of San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
We used to see them filming at, and I them one day because they would go in and out of the house, in and out. I got bored watching it. When you see them actually put a movie together, it's boring.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what used to get on my nerve, and it was my dad that used to like the show. My dad back in the day, I don't know what it was, but he liked them detective shows that were on.
So he like Kojak, Barnaby Jones.
Man, when Mannix came on, he couldn't miss Mannix. And I was like, I was sitting watching, I was like, what's the big freaking deal? I don't know what the thing. He used to love that show.
Did he like Hawaii Five-0?
Yes, he would watch all of them. All of those detective shows. Kojak.
I like Beretta. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah. Mannix. What was the other one? Mission Impossible. He would watch that.
$6 Million Man.
He watched all those detective shows.
Columbo wasn't bad.
Beretta. Yep, he used to watch Beretta. I remember that.
The Rifleman. See, my mother was a truckie.
Rockford Files. There you go. Columbo.
She would watch the reruns of Star Trek.
Yeah.
She used to like Night Gallery. And, Cock. That was my mother's though. That was her shit right there. My mother liked sci-fi. She would even read them sci-fi books. So I was forced to watch all of the Star Trek.
My mother was more into the comedy. She liked Sanford and Son, the Jeffersons, Good Times. That's what she was really in. She liked the black comedies.
Yeah, one of those. You got a Sanford and Son video. It got over 1 million views.
Sanford and Son.
That was my father's number one show. And the one that he liked that cracked him up was when Fred Sanford was on his way to Las Vegas and he brought some chicken wings and put them in a paper bag. And, got on the plane and bust that bag out. Oh Lord, that was hilarious.
I like the one where Fred, Lamont, and Rollo went to jail, and Esther came up there with the Bible. She was trying to get him out of jail, and her and Fred were arguing, and Fred came up there because they gave them Tootsie Pops, and she said, keep sucking on that sucker. I love that part.
They were childhood friends.
In fact, they were going to get rid of her character, and Red Fox told them, "If you let her go, I'm leaving." So they ended up keeping her and writing her into the show. She was only supposed to be on there for a few episodes.
Esther made that show. We had to have Esther.
Sure did. That show would never be the same without Aunt Esther. It would never be the same.
No, Esther. Boy, they were talking
Some
about.
of them were funny. I mean, even what was his friend? Bubba Bexley. Some of them were funny. And what was it? Grady.
Oh yeah, I remember Grady.
I love the one where
Grady tried to have a show for a minute for Grady.
I remember the one where Esther and Woodrow had broke up.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Trying to get them back. Boy, that had me screaming. That episode to this day has me screaming.
I wanted them up out of his spot. He couldn't hang.
Yeah, I remember Room 222. Yeah, Flip Wilson. The only reason why I watch Flip Wilson is because my mother did. And I remember she would turn it on and I would always be sitting next to her and we would be sitting in the living room watching Flip Wilson.
One of the shows I liked that I watched was the Carol Burnett show. And there was one segment that they did because they would do all of that live.
Yeah.
And I remember they was in the living room and one of the dudes fell behind behind the couch, but it was a bed back there and you could see them and they was laughing because they couldn't even get through the skit. It was so funny. Oh man, that's like when I was in high school and I used to watch Eddie Murphy. Oh, Kill My Landlord. Oh man, I would love watching that stuff. And then I like when he would get in that hot tub and be doing James Brown. Boy, he made that show. And you had told me a couple of months back he kept Saturday Night afloat.
He sure did. That was a dying show. And when Eddie Murphy came in there, it was him that turned that show around. That's why when they had their anniversary, they had him back. He was the one that brought that show back to life.
Yeah, those were my favorite characters. Oh, and Velvet Jones. And he did Velvet Jones when he did the little comeback. That shit was hilarious. That was the one that was funny to me.
Yeah.
Now I ain't gonna lie. They shouldn't have took Living Color off. I had fun watching that.
I love that. Oh my goodness. We were I remember where I used to work. Every time that came on the next day, that's what we were laughing about at work. The very next day.
That show was so funny.
Wow.
And I like the gay dudes that would do the movie reviews.
And homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that.
We don't play that. Pow! Right upside the head. And I like Doug and Winnie Winder, and I like Fire Marshal Bill. Lord, Bill.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Oh my goodness, Bill's face was all burnt off. Oh Lord.
You know, the first cross-dressing man I ever seen in my life was Little Richard. I remember when I was a little girl. I remember I was sitting with my mom and dad, and I was like, that man got on a dress. I was like, that blew me away.
And makeup?
Man, I ever seen cross-dress. I never saw it before in my life until Little Richard was on TV.
The first time I ever seen a man in a dress was Flip Wilson when he would do Geraldine.
Yeah, I remember that too. Oh, it was a couple of times that Little Richard would be on TV singing. And you know, full drag. And I was like, he got lipstick on with a big old mustache.
You know what? I have encountered women that come off like Geraldine. And I know a sister to this day. In fact, I even talked to her son on Facebook a lot. What was that character on Martin Lawrence show? Shanae?
Yeah.
Oh Lord. It's a sister I know in Oakland that act like that. And she's still like that. Hardworking woman, but she act just like that. Boy. I like when Roland Martin, not Roland Martin, when on the Martin show, I like that character, the security guard
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But the most funniest segment is when Shanae had Gina at the nail shop and she was gonna have to work it off or something. She owed her some money or something. And somebody came in there with some long ass toenails. She busted out that grinder. Them toenails was flying everywhere. That segment was sick funny. Oh man. You know, I mean, I was sore. I was sore. I laughed so hard. Oh, that shit was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like that other character.
The Gong Show. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're going way back. Oh,
I remember Mean Gene Dancing Machine, and then his wife put him on there with them. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep. Wow, that's so many years ago.
Yeah. We actually had at my school when I was in junior high school, we actually had a Gong Show. We did one at school.
I tell you one that my mother used to watch. It used to wig me out. Remember the Mary Hartman show?
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird.
That was a weird-ass show. That show was weird to me.
It was weird to me too. Mary Hartman. I remember that.
All the characters was off the hook.
Yeah. I know a lot of people said it was good. I guess I was just too young to appreciate that show. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched all of the Waltons. I got hooked on
like Good Night, John Boy, and all that stuff.
I got hooked on General Hospital one summer. I was so glad I went to school.
Back in the day, must have been back in the 80s, New York, and I guess it was kind of local. They had a black soap opera called Generations.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I love that soap opera, man. I was so mad when they took that off.
And then, you know what I would even watch on PBS? I would watch the Benny Hill show.
Mm-hmm.
That show was funny to me. That show, because British comedy is kind of offbeat a little bit, but it worked for me. I would watch it.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, Solid Gold. Oh man, I remember that. I remember American Bandstand. Oh, way back.
Wow.
I remember that too.
Yeah, I liked watching.
I remember when little Michael Jackson was on American Bandstand. I remember when he was on there.
I remember one time they had the Osmonds and the Jacksons. They all sung them so good.
I don't know why they even compared those two. The Osmonds could never touch the Jacksons. Never. Even back then, they had that one song, One Bad Apple.
Oh Lord, wore it out.
The Jacksons had a string of hits, and they had One Bad Apple, and they were.
There you go, Lord Mud. That's who I was looking for, Brother Man. Joker gonna come through your window, have on your clothes, t-shirt too tight, all up in your box.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me a while back. They said them soap operas now is damn near porn.
Yeah. A lot of them are online now. You can watch a lot of them online. If it's not on TV, they still got the episodes online. I don't get into them. When I was really into soap operas, I would say like around the 80s and probably the early 90s. But, as time went on, I just, I was working so much, I didn't keep up with it. And
I had one summer. I was about 13, I think. And I got hooked on them. And then after that, I never got back into it again.
Yeah, and when I started working, by the time I would have a day off and try to watch it again, I didn't know what I was watching. I didn't recognize some of the characters. I was like, I'll forget it. I don't need to watch this no more.
Yeah, and here in the Bay Area, the Benny Hill would come on like past midnight.
Yeah, Dance Fever. I remember Dance Fever. And see, you know what? Those shows are Dancing with the Stars. You would have different couples competing against each other. So, I mean, Dancing with the Stars, that's really not even original. We saw that back in the day.
Did y'all have Creature Feature?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we had that.
Mm-hmm. I could not watch no horror movies. That's one thing I can't. That is not my thing.
They used to get all that blood and cutting heads off and all that
Mhm.
stuff. He used to go over the top, but I thought it was kind of funny.
My husband liked watching that shit. Ugh.
Dark Shadows. Yes, I remember Dark
Oh,
Shadows.
it used to scare the hell out of me. Oh, I remember Petticoat Junction. Oh yeah.
You know what? I vaguely remember that. I didn't get hardly into that. I remember my mom watching that. I didn't get heavily into Petticoat.
Did you watch the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yes, I did watch some of the old episodes.
Richard Pryor show didn't last no time. They had to bleep him 100,000 times. He was before his time. He needed to be on cable TV. Shit.
Wow.
Way back.
Yeah, it sure is.
Oh yeah, Ironside. I remember that show.
I remember that show too. He was in a wheelchair, wasn't he? I remember that.
I would watch Bewitched, Hogan's Heroes, all of that.
Yeah, I remember the Brady Bunch. You know what? That was the show that wore off the first for me, fastest for me. I probably watched it when I was more like elementary school age. By the time I got to junior high school, I was no longer interested in the Brady Bunch.
Now, you know what? I liked Green Junction better than Petticoat. I don't know. I was into that. Yeah, I like Green Acres. I think I liked when when it would first come on. I just liked the music because it was so corny. Wonder Woman. Lord, I remember that show. Get smart.
$6 Million Man. I remember that one. I remember the Bionic Man.
They even had the Bionic Woman.
Bionic Woman. Starsky and Hutch. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember Big Valley.
That girl. Man, you're going way back.
Sure is.
Damn. It's going way back.
Yeah,
wow.
my mother's thing was she liked Western, so she would watch like Gunsmoke.
Yeah.
Big Valley. She liked all those type of shows.
I remember the woman. That was Miss Kitty. Yeah, I remember her. Batman. I used to like Batman. They used to punch each other. You see, boom, bam.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, sound effects. That was funny.
What's that one? Yeah, I remember the Incredible Hulk. I do remember that one.
Yeah, that was another one of my mother's show. Dukes of Hazzard, Lord.
Johnny Quest, boy.
I remember T. J. Hooker. Like a little what was that show? It was the guys that played basketball. Was it Night Shadow? The brothers that would play basketball. It was based in LA. And Kevin Hooks was one of the actors in it. He was one of the basketball.
I remember one of my friends had a crush on him. He used to like Kevin Hooks. Shoot, y'all, I remember sitting and watching Roots.
White Shadows, that's what it was. I remember, I can remember when Roots came out. That was like the most intense week of watching TV.
Went back to school that next day after watching. I could not talk to white people. There
was some people fighting after that. Not in between it too.
When I went back, I did not talk to them. I was like, man, I can't be dealing with y'all right now. You're gonna have to let me get past this one.
Cause see, back in the day, we was glued to that tube. And if that commercial come on, you better hurry up and go to that bathroom because we don't got what we have now. Y'all got it good, y'all young folks out here. Y'all can backtrack, get stuff online and all of that. There was some intensity there watching Roots. That was something very historical we was watching.
It
And
sure was.
it did piss off a lot of Black folks.
It got me, that's for sure. It got me.
Mhm.
I mean, it was a bunch of us, though. It wasn't just me, but man, I was like, I can't be dealing with you right now. And then one of my teachers wanted to have let's have a conversation about it, and let's not. You just teach and do your job.
Well, somebody said my husband watched Roots, and when he went back to school, a white boy called him Toby. Oh shit! And my husband beat the crap out of him. Oh Lord! Oh, that's funny.
No, it was rough. When we went back to school, it was like black kids on this side, white kids on that side. We were not dealing with each other.
Yeah, that was I see. I think I was just about to enter junior high school. Yeah, when that came out. But I distinctly remember it and the tension around it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Rosewood. I actually saw Rosewood in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I left, when that guy beat his wife up at the end, I wish I could have
the best part.
I jumped in that screen and help him beat her ass.
Ass. He went in there. He knows she was the town hoe.
Mm-hmm.
That dude beat her ass in that room. And then she gonna come rolling out. He raped me. A black man raped me. I said, oh Lord, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew what she was doing because they even kind of said it in the movie.
Yeah.
They knew the super freak.
Mm-hmm. It seemed like she was being passed around to every man in town.
So she couldn't explain them knots upside her head when her husband got home. Had a nerve. I mean, everybody could hear what they was doing. I said,
I like when you put that movie out because when that movie came out, a few of those elderly people that were living back then, they were still alive.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them were still alive when that movie was done, and they talked about what happened. Mm-hmm. And they said it was a lot more people killed than what they wrote in history. I said, that's always the case.
Yeah, always
downplaying the numbers.
But it kind of depicted how they really go down. Because remember you was telling me how them white folks, they would just get out in them cotton fields and just screw. They didn't care if anybody looked at them. They disgusting. They just really disgusting. How they get down. Try to act like you high and mighty.
Yeah, y'all see the trolls, they worried about the coronavirus. They don't have time to come here and bother us anymore.
You.
Uh-huh.
Y'all all worried about that thing? You have to worry
about it. They are worried. Yeah. Worried. Probably trying to get all the toilet paper again. That's why they ain't here. Trying to get all that damn toilet paper.
Where's your little partner at? He came through here.
Mm-hmm. And I saw the line for the gun shop. I was looking at one. I forgot what state it was. I was looking at the line for the gun shop. That line was a mile long. I was like, okay, y'all gonna kill the virus with a gun?
Lord, I seen that picture today. Them people was lined up gonna go get guns.
Yeah.
I mean, what else the hell y'all gonna buy?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the virus is gonna die from you having a gun. I don't think it works like that.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh, Oxy. Yeah, I know. Poor Oxy man. Oxy man. I guess he didn't get his toilet paper. He probably lined up out there.
Yeah, he probably in line right now with about 20 packs.
Yeah.
Finally got out of that damn basement to do something.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, his mama sent him on down there. Go get that toilet paper.
Get your fat ass out of the basement and go get some toilet paper.
Can't even get no trolls no more. Y'all done messed up everything.
Yeah, you know.
And no trolls to drag around.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed when I was on a few other hangouts, they weren't there either. I was like, wow, life without a troll?
I know, girl. I know the feeling. It can hurt your feelings. It really can.
You know they're scared. You got the assholes online running.
What a shame. What a shame. Well, Lisa, I'm gonna scoot off. I got a
All right.
premiere. I got a premiere coming up on my backup
Okay.
channel.
No, I'm going to go ahead and end because I mean we've been on here going on almost 2 hours. So, but
Yes.
everybody, thank you for coming, and please enjoy the rest of your night and Happy New Year's to everybody.
Yeah, happy New Year's. If y'all want to see my premiere, I'll put the I'll be over on the True Royal channel. I got a premiere coming up.
And if you want soap, just go to my main channel community tab. All of the information is in there, including my email address.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Peace, family.
Let me give them this link.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. I just put it in. Okay. All right. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.